Hello everyone, my name is Anna Vonde from National Taxpayer Association. As we all are aware that tobacco usage or smoking is a major leading factor for non-communicable diseases, not here only in Kenya but also in Africa. In that regard, National Taxpayer Association is championing for tobacco taxation in Kenya. And this is because when we raise tobacco taxes, that is to 70% of retail price or 75% of both taxes, that is VAT and excise, it has two good gains or wins on physical space, that is in total revenue or tax revenue, and also in public health. So raising tobacco taxes reduces affordability, that is affecting or lowering the consumption of cigarettes, smokers. It is in that connection or in that line that we visited Nyeri County to have a conversation with one of our champions on NCD, that is talking through how the journey has been when they were fighting with cancer, and also telling us how the financial aspect, and also giving a call to the youth, because this is a young person who've been a victim or who've been affected in one way or another. Welcome our guest to our interview on taking us through how the experience has been, the journey has been in terms of your health related to cancer. As we know, you're a cancer survivor. So during today's interview, you'll also be giving a call to the young people, to policymakers, parliamentarians, and Senate on how tobacco and nicotine products usage is really affecting not only the older people, but also the young generation.
Thank you very much. My name is Danson Barago Cairo. I am a cancer survivor, classical Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I was diagnosed in 2020. And it all started by a small swelling on my neck, on my right side of the neck. And I went through some tests, and later I was realized I have cancer, but now I'm surviving. Uh, Let me say that tobacco has not affected me directly, but it has affected me indirectly in many ways. First, I have lost an uncle who started smoking cigarettes when he was young. And he saw it normal and relaxing because he finally got addicted. That's how I got to know that nicotine can be a bit addicted. It can be a bit addictive. My uncle started smoking a long time ago, my late uncle, and he usually used to send us in shops, buy cigarettes. I can remember his favorite cigarette was Super Much, that was his favorite, and he could even smoke 2 to 3 cigarettes in half a day.
Do you mean single sticks or those are packets?
Yeah, single sticks, half a day. So you could get that, even a packet, he could do it in a day and finish that packet. So as time went on, as he continued using it, his health became bad, and he started going for checkups, and he was later diagnosed with lung cancer. And it was so devastating, it was so heartbreaking, because we could go visit him regularly, and the way his health, it was so bad. He lost a lot of weight, he changed a lot physically, and to us it was so emotional, because financial strains, we actually had a fundraising of him so that the money could be found for chemotherapy and radiotherapy. Also emotionally, it affected us in terms of seeing that we were 50-50 that he will survive, because actually he looked so worn out. And with time, he finally died of the lung cancer.
Oh, sorry.
And he left 5 children and a wife. So it was so hard for his wife, because his wife had now to take care of the 5 children. You see, the life of being a single mother, you have to look for shelter for your children, you have to look for clothing for your children, you have to look for food for your children, yet you are the only one who is providing for the family because your husband has passed away. Okay, through because I'm a cancer survivor, I've been through this journey. I've seen how chemotherapy is devastating. I've seen the effects, the financial strain, the long hospital visits. It is so tiring. And in terms of the effects of the chemotherapy, they are so harsh because stigmatization is there. And you will finally find someone who will look at you and ask you, by the way, why don't you have your hair? Why are your nails looking like this? So you seem that unajiona ni kama umetenganishwa na wengine.
We've heard you say that you had a fundraising. Was it just a one single fundraising? And through the fundraising, was the money also enough to take us through the process for your uncle? And even now, after his death, how did the family that was left behind managing to survive? Was there anything that had been left, or just when he ended, everything came? And before he could, his life ended, was he working? And what about on productivity?
Okay.
Because when someone is unhealthy and more so a cancer patient, we are not sure if he was able to work and also take care of his family.
So my uncle was a carpenter, simply a hustler, because he was not permanently employed. He was going for jobs whenever he is called. So the small amount of money, it was the one he was using to cater for the family. So when cancer came, it's something that you are not prepared for. So it came when he don't have the money for the treatment. So we actually had to fundraising for that case because he needed a lot of money. His cancer was stage 4, so he was he needed a lot of money to cater for the drugs, for the chemotherapy, for the health workers. So it was a bit of strain financially for him to cater for the health. So when he died, there was nothing left for the family. So actually in his burial, the small amount that someone could give, hiyo ndo ingeshikilia familia for the moment. So his wife actually was unemployed, so it was like a new chapter to her life.
So that one means that without the carpentry aspect, he was not able to do the carpentry and he was not able to have an income for the family. So during the life that this uncle is training or struggling for health, it seems like it was a dark place for your auntie and also the family members.
It was so dark, not just for the wife, because but also the family in large, because losing someone is not easy. It is so heartbreaking because I was too close to my uncle, we were too close to him, and so we really needed to save his life. So it was a bit hard for us because he was admitted in the hospital, so he could not do his usual job of carpentry. So the money, it had to come from us to support him and to cater for his treatment.
Okay, it is so sad to hear that. Surely smoking has no good benefit, whether it is vaping or using the tobacco products because of the nicotine component aspect. We have heard from Danson about the story of his uncle, and it is so sad. We could also like Danson to tell us how his experience has been in surviving through the cancer that he was diagnosed with. Could you also tell us how your journey has, the chemotherapy? You've also mentioned that there were side effects of chemos and they are not like really appealing and you wouldn't like to say it is a good experience. And also, since your journey has also had given you a stigma aspect to the society, you could also tell the young generation, because you've seen your uncle go like that. So what could be your advice to the young generation?
So as I had said earlier, I'm a cancer survivor, Hodgkin's lymphoma. I was diagnosed with cancer in 2020. I was in Form 1. It started through a small swelling on my right side of the neck, and I went to frequent visits in the hospital, and finally I had to be done a surgery, and the lymph node was removed, and it was tested, and the results that were I had cancer, I had classical Hodgkin's lymphoma. So it was so hard for me because I had seen earlier my uncle die of cancer. So my mentality was like, that's where I'm headed.
It had an emotional damage mentally.
Mentally, because you've seen the struggles that my uncle had gone through. So I knew that the same struggles ndizo nitapitia. So, but finally, I had to change my mentality. I had to be positive for my family, to be strong for my family, and show them that cancer can be survived. So I started my chemotherapy session.
That was which stage of cancer that you were diagnosed in 2020?
Stage 2. So I had to be positive, and I started my chemotherapy sessions. Let me say, my first chemotherapy session was not easy at all because it was so painful, it was so hard. Now I could get into the position of my uncle and see what he was going through, the pain he was going through, the struggles he was going through. And the chemotherapy, the side effects were too harsh because you could find yourself having sores in the mouth, fatigue, loss of the hair, and even your nails could turn black. And this even made me to separate from others. I could stay at home all the times because when you go outside, people are saying that you have changed. So they are like
Running away.
running away. So they were like, this person comes from this family. And in this family, no one has survived.
They have known for history of cancer.
So they are saying it is hereditary, and the same thing will happen. Get cancer, die, we bury you. So it was so hard seeing that you want to show people that cancer can be cured, but on the other side, what they are doing, they are heartbreaking you, they are stigmatizing you. So it was so hard, but I kept on moving because my dream was to become a doctor. After seeing some of my family members and some people, my friends that I know, who has been through the same journey, dying. So I wish that I can become a doctor and heal them. So I had to be positive and continue with the chemotherapy. Let me say, financially, our background was so humble, and we actually had to do a fundraising to find around 700,000 shillings for my treatment. So we did the fundraising, and the money actually ilipatikana, and the treatment was smooth, but you know, kukosangi challenges pale.
Lazima kuko na challenge. Na before ufike kwa kufundraise, nakumbuka ukisema ulikuwa mwanafunzi. Hali ya shule namna gani? Kwa maana tunaona wanafunzi wengine ama watu wakikuhepa hawataki muonekane. How did you manage schooling? Oh, tell us how life was that, like your friends are kind of stigmatizing you because of the cancer, and you still also want to say we can still survive.
Yeah. So at school, let me say, I was in Form 1 when I was diagnosed with cancer. So my cancer was classical Hodgkin's lymphoma. It is a cancer of the immunity system. So the doctors could not allow me to go to school because my immunity ingekuwa affected sana. It was so weak, so I had to quit school. I quitted school Form 1, and the whole of Form 2 I was not in school for the treatment. But by God's grace, I was allowed to get back to school, and I did not repeat the classes, the Form 1 and Form 2. I went directly to Form 3. And that's when you know the true colors of people, what they really hold. Because sometimes unapatana na mtu anakuona nywele yako kuna vile inakaa, you have really changed. Then when maybe it's a boys school, so pia pale nje pale dorm, maybe when taking a bath they could see the scar of my chemopot, because I actually had a chemopot and it was still there, so they were like, hii nini yako nayo iko hapa. So you could find that many people are talking about you, they are talking about how sick you are, they are stigmatizing you, and I lost a lot of friends by the way, because walikuwa wanaogopa pia wao watapata ile ugonjwa niko nayo. So they really separated from me, but thanks I had good friends who could support me in terms even of studies. So I worked so hard and smart in my studies, and with God's grace still I was able to catch up with the other students. So when I started passing again, the stigma comes in. Huyo kijana ametoka kwa wachawi, so ameenda akafanya witchcraft 1 2 3 akapita. So haizi kuwa form 1 yote hajakuwa, form 2 yote hajakuwa, ameingia form 3 na yeye bado is passing. So unaona watu bado wangeongelelea kuhusu some witchcraft stuff, but bado nikiwa form 3 I had so much struggles, because frequent clinics, frequent visits in the hospital, pia I had to do some immunity drugs, so most of the times bado I was not in school, but later I finally managed kumaliza, and I actually got an A-.
Wow.
And it was so good. I felt so happy, and I actually proved that cancer can be survived. So to the young people and to old people, I have seen the effects of tobacco. I have gone through the journey of a cancer patient. I know how hard it is. I know how devastating it is. I know how heartbreaking it is. Mimi ni Gen Z. I have seen people using these products. So kuna ile mentality ya watu wanasema ati vijana wadogo hawatumii sigara. But I have actually seen that, because right now tobacco has new products.
Wamekuja na
Unapata,
new
wamekuja
vitu
na
za
new
Gen
things
Z.
that Gen Z
Aha,
sasa.
zinaitwa velo na vapes.
Velo, vapes, and I also seen some cigarettes zinaitwa Oris.
Oris.
Oris, I think inakuanga flavored. It's a flavored cigarette that it's
Zinakuja na
attracting
strawberry,
Nakuja strawberry.
chocolate-ish.
Mint, I've heard of mints too. So unapata watu wanakuwa attracted to that because iko na hiyo flavor. So si ile ati itanuka bado sigara vile. So people are actually using it, young people. So in school I have seen people using it. Around me, friends, I have seen them using it. Well, I always insist to them that these tobacco products are very, very dangerous, and they can cause such diseases, cancer. We know that tobacco actually causes 16 types of cancers. You see, it is a major cause of cancer.
Non-communicable disease, where cancer is also a leading one. From your friends whom you've seen smoke or take the new generation products, the industry uses that tactic of coming up with flavored products so that they claim to have a harm reduction strategy, but in real sense, the products or the nicotine products, the velos, the vapes, have the nicotine component. A nicotine component causes a lot of harm to the body. You've heard him tell us stories and also confirm to us that truly the young generation are being convinced because of using the velos, because of using the vapes. No one can tell that you're smoking, but for real, there's nothing good about nicotine products. All nicotine products are harmful for our health. What will you tell the young generation when it comes to smoking?
What I can say to the young people is that I have been through there. I have seen how devastating, how hard, how heartbreaking cancer can be. So to the young people, these products that you're using, tobacco products, nicotine products, do not choose a life for pleasure, then lose the life later. It's high time that you stop using these products because they are so harmful to your health. And in terms of cancer, when you get to that position, it will drain you. I've reached far. And many people who has been affected by tobacco have not reached where I am, have not survived. Many of them has ended up dying. So do not just ruin your life for something like that.
Okay. Now, when we are advocating or championing for raising tobacco taxes to reduce consumption or reduce affordability, what will be your call to the government? What will be your call to the parliamentarians, that is member of parliament, also to the Senate and the policymakers?
So to the policymakers, to the parliamentaries, and to the government, and I would like to highly recommend for the taxation of tobacco. One, tobacco, once we tax it, first of all, it will reduce the affordability of the tobacco. Why? Because the amount will be high. So if someone was actually affording two, maybe that day he will not afford, the next day he will not afford, and with time, the person stops being addicted. The secondly, if it reduces affordability, that means that the consumption will reduce because many people will not have the money to buy these products. So I can highly recommend for the taxation to the WHO recommendation, that is the 75% inclusion of VAT and the excess tax. And with that, I hope that it will reduce the affordability and the consumption. The tax that is the tax or the revenue that will be collected here, it can be used in health sectors. We have heard of ECCR in the SHIF that is helping the critical conditions for people who are having such critical conditions such as cancer and other non-communicable diseases. It can highly help in terms of health. So I think it is high time for the government to take action. Let's finish this. Thank you.
Our viewers, as you've heard from Danson, that is a true story, a really live story that he has shared, not only with Kenyans, but across the world. It is a high time that the government, especially parliamentarians and Senate, that they pass the tobacco control bill because it's meant for the good of the common mwananchi, and also it is meant to generate money. Therefore, passing that bill is one of a good tobacco control measures. And also, when the National Treasury recommends or increases taxes on tobacco products to 75%, it will have both a win in terms of total revenue and also reducing affordability as well as reducing consumption. Therefore, young people, nicotine products are harmful. Stay away from the products. The flavors that the industry is using is only for them to make profits at the expense of public health. Stay guided.